Yeah, Evan got it gleaming. Shine school in session. Let's go. Yeah, clock on the wall say grind time. Camera on, that's the front line. Step one, step two, rewind. He break it down slow so you catch every fine line. From the shop floor dust to the chrome glow.
What's going on, everybody? Evan here with Evan's Detailing and Polishing. I get asked a lot, how do we sand drive wheels when they're on the truck? Well, in this video, you can see exactly how it is. I'm sorry the framing's vertical. I kind of shot this on the go while we were on the site. But this is at a customer shop. The wheels were a little worse than we thought they were going to be. So I've got my DeWalt Inox here. And right now I'm sanding the back wall. So it's all about the angles at which you put the grinder in. And I'm always trying to sand at like the 3 o'clock area on the sanding pad. Anywhere between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock is really where I'm aiming for. And I really love these Inox sanders. We've also been trying the Makita, and the Makita small one really works well as well. I like that we can get them into such tight spaces. Now, doing them mounted on is very difficult, simply because if you're going to do in between the lug nuts, you're going to have to do it all by hand. Now, on this specific vehicle, they were putting the top hats on, so we didn't have to worry about in between the lug nuts. So we were just sanding what they were going to see. And that was a customer's preference, not our preference. Most times I would pull this wheel off to sand it. But this specific customer wasn't looking for anything fancy, just wanted to save money. But now that I got the back wall done, I'm gonna start doing the outer lip. Now this wheel is pretty rough. We started at about 220 grit. And I'm gonna work this up to 320, 400, and 600. And then normally, on somebody that wanted a little bit higher end finish, I would use 600 to DA the outer lip, and I would just cut through the back wall. But I think this specific wheel here, I only did 400 and 600. A couple of the other wheels on this trailer were a little rougher. I had to go from 220 to 600. And of course I use that foam backing pad. I don't use an interface pad just because of the angles I take. The foam pad that we sell on GoShine.com are the ones that I prefer, simply because you can see right now the way that pad is flexing to get that cornered edge. It's got a nice soft edge, but it's pretty solid and rigid when you push in. I can get into every angle I want, and if I keep this wheel moving, I'm not going to leave any waves in. I use the sander and my foot to help keep this thing rolling. Now you can see I'm getting out close to the edge here. I'm still working at that between 2 and 4 o'clock. If I get over to the other side, it starts kicking back and wants to punch out towards my leg. So I keep the sander pulling away from me at all times. But now I saw this outer edge didn't quite sand through as well as I wanted to. I'm guessing this was probably 400. So I'm just hitting it a second time with that 400 with a fresh sheet just to get down to where I want to be. Now I've swapped out to the 600. And now I'm going to watch and make sure it's nice and smooth so that I can cut through it when I'm done. I want to be able to buff right over the top of this. And I always look for the valve stem. I start one hole past the valve stem so that I always have a good start and stop point. And as you can see, I don't sit and stop and work any one area. I keep moving because I don't want to leave waves in this thing. And getting a DA in on that back wall is a little tough. Unless you find yourself a 3-inch DA and can get back there and level everything off, it's not very easy. So I try to run it to 600 on the rotary. 800 does help cut out as well if you're going to cut out from rotary. But we cut out 600 at rotary all the time, especially if you hit it with the orange buff and some brown compound once or twice, it'll cut right out. And as you saw, I used just one sheet of 600 to get that whole back wall done. As long as you don't catch an edge, you won't have to worry about it. And quite honestly, if you wanted to, you could use a dip-treated red buff with a brown compound to really cut out that back wall real quick. But if you do that, then you got to follow it up with an orange and brown. But as you guys are watching this, I'm hoping you guys found this video helpful. Once again, I'm sorry the frame was in vertical instead of horizontal. It's one thing I'll definitely try to redo this video again in the future to try to get you a better angle. But I happened to stumble across this video and stuff that I took over the year and figured I might as well edit it and put it together for you guys, and here it is. But thank you guys for watching all my videos. I truly appreciate you guys stopping by all the time and supporting and promoting the channel. I definitely get a lot of great feedback in the comments all the time, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a comment for what you'd like to see me create a video of next. And if you dropped a comment and said what you want to see next, I know you've watched all the way to the end, so I can't thank you guys enough for that.
In the bay where the real ones go, Evans detailing, door swing wide. You can smell that work in the air when you slide inside. He like mask up, goggles on, stand clear. Show you how to keep that metal looking brand new this year. From the pad to the compound, hear that hum, that sound. He talking pressure and angle to the floors back down.
Evan got the shine, yeah, he do it like a pro. Turn the dog to a mirror.